Captain America New World. Wait, no. What's the name? Captain America Brave New World. Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. This movie has been in development hell for what feels like forever. Let me just quickly take you through the timeline here. April 2021, a Hollywood Reporter confirms a new Captain America film is in development and that the film would begin production in May 2022. San Diego Comic-Con 2022, Kevin Feige announces the name Captain America New World Order and that it would be released on May 3rd, 2024. But then in October of 2022, that same year, it was announced production would actually start in March of 23. Then in June 2023, it was actually renamed to Captain America Brave New World and that it would be delayed to July 26, 2024. And then in November 2023, it got delayed again to February 14th, 2025. You throw in a bunch of reshoots after reported negative test screening reactions and you have a big whole mess on your hands. Well, I saw it the other day and I'm just going to go on a rant here. I have nothing planned, no outline. Let me just talk it out here. When I think of a Captain America sequel, I don't know about you, but what I think of, what I want is, I want the Incredible Hulk, a sequel to that. I want some background from Eternals, and I want Captain America Winter Soldier, but if it was ass. There are two kinds of movies in here. There's the political thriller, and there's a superhero movie, and it does both pretty poorly. I actually think there are some interesting political ideologies that you can play with in this movie and make really good conflict from. Unfortunately, this movie has the same mindset that I had about politics when I was in junior high, which is basically like, why don't we just work together? Like, why don't these two countries just like not do that and be greedy? Like, why can't we do that? It is so incredibly surface level with the politics. It feels like, I was going to say my government class in high school, but even then we actually like got into things and debated. So that would be insulting. I don't even know if it scratches the surface. It more like it tenderly caresses the surface. Anytime I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually some like good conflict here that it can really explore. Then it just completely pulls back. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's afraid to do anything. So the political espionage doesn't work, but okay, at least we can rely on the superhero parts. But no, you can't. The action scenes are so poorly edited, so ugly to look at, and just staged so poorly on the IMAX screen. I'm looking, my eyes are flying all around the screen because I'm trying to follow the action. I'm trying to follow each punch, trying to follow each kick. I'm trying to follow each flap of the wings, and it's difficult to follow. But even if I'm willing to admit, like, okay, you know what, maybe just the IMAX screen just way too big, you know, I'm close to the screen, whatever. The actual fight choreography is so goddamn boring. I understand that Sam Wilson's Captain America does not have actual powers, okay? I understand it's not as exciting as seeing Iron Man blast people to space or seeing Spider-Man web around all these places. I get that. But you can make an incredibly well-made, grounded action fight scene, which is some hand-to-hand combat, and with your wings. But we can't do that. Can't even do that. I can't even get the knife fight from Captain America Winter Soldier. And that scene, I almost think is low-key overrated, just how much I'm seeing it, but it's still very cool, and it's visceral, and it feels gritty. And this one looks like a Disney Plus original straight-to-streaming movie. I'm sorry. But I think my main thing is I do not think Marvel has built up Sam Wilson well enough. I just don't. His character has been around 4 years. Anthony Mackie is a very well-liked actor. I don't understand why this feels so lacking. Let me take you back to 2018 watching Avengers Infinity War with my friend. Do you know what happened when Sam Wilson's Falcon got dusted in that theater? My friend, who's a completely normal MCU watcher, he kept up with everything, said, oh, like, who cares? And that is incredibly savage, but I kind of get it. They never did anything with him that really compelled people. But okay, you fast forward to Endgame, he gets the shield passed to him. That's exciting. We go to the TV show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that shit was booty cheeks. For all the problems I have with that show, Anthony Mackie's Captain America does not stand out to me. That's not the takeaway from that show. Now, has it been years since I watched it? Yes. Have I only seen it once? Of course. But that was not my main takeaway. And I am so sorry to say, because again, I think Anthony Mackie's a cool person. He seems like a cool, fun guy to hang out with. But bro just doesn't have it for me. Okay? I don't really buy it. I just am not sure that superhero lead is there. I'm so sorry to say. I feel bad saying but that. Even with Harrison Ford, where how old is he? 82. God damn. Even next to Harrison Ford, who is 82 years old, Like, I'm sorry, Anthony Mackie's getting blown off the screen. I'm sorry. It's almost like how other people were like, oh, Paul Mescal doesn't have it in Gladiator 2, and then he goes on screen with Denzel Washington and he gets just blown off the screen. That's similar to how I felt watching this. So you don't do the political espionage thriller very well. You don't do the superhero action scenes very well. So what is there to like about this movie? Harrison Ford is kind of good. I really expected Harrison Ford to just kind of phone this in, and I wouldn't blame him for, the kind of movie he's doing. At his age, he's done it all. I wouldn't blame him. And maybe there are moments of that, but honestly, he's pretty good. I felt like he actually cared about what he was doing on screen. So that's awesome. And tell me why this movie just keeps explaining itself after it just said what it said. What's happening here? Is that like the Netflix mandate where you have to say what you're saying out loud so the audience keeps being engaged when they're on their phone? What's happening? No spoilers, I promise, but there's a scene where someone says, oh, mind control. And the very next sentence is, they're using this to control the minds. And I'm like, what the yes, that's what mind control means. And just as the cherry on top, there is one post-credit scene. I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry. And it is fucking hilarious because it does what I just said, which is, let's just spell out everything. I don't know if any of you saw the Morbius post-credit scene, because why would you? But that is the most like shoehorned in thing ever, where just Vulture and Morbius meet up. They don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden they're like, I think Spider-Man has to do with it, because they just want to set up what's next. It's similar vibes to that, where it's just like, yo, here's what's coming. I'm just gonna tell you what's coming. It's like a wink at the camera to just be like, here it is. Like, they might as well have just put in like another trailer at the end. But at the end of the day, this movie is a stale Lunchable. It's a nothing burger. Even the bad or divisive MCU movies from the past didn't feel like this. Iron Man 3, a divisive movie in its own, at least when it ends, even if you hate that movie, there are things to talk about and you want to discuss. This movie, when it ended, is just nothing. It feels so empty when it ends. You walk out of the theater, you're kind of forgetting what happened already, and you're just like, okay, like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go home. What am I having for dinner tonight? And that is really where the MCU has faltered, outside of a few things here and there. Is that even with some of the movies that people didn't like, the Iron Man 2s, the Iron Man 3s, Thor, Dark World, like, I don't even know. Like, at least you felt like there was something there and people wanted to kind of talk about it afterwards. This is just a flat experience. And again, I don't know how many times I have to say that. Like, I am not an MCU hater. I'm really not. I know it's popular to do that, and I think people feel really intelligent when they just like trash Marvel movies. I'm the same guy who made a video being like, Multiverse of Madness, fucking fire. I think Thunderbolts looks pretty interesting. I was impressed with the Fantastic Four trailer. So I am open to this. I'm not going to be here and be like, oh my gosh, pack it in. It's so over. Like, it's never going to be good again. I'm holding out hope still. I want these movies to be good. And that's the thing, is that this movie is not incompetent. At the end of this year, I don't expect this movie to be one of the worst movies of the year. But the fact that it feels so empty inside and how it made me feel afterwards, it almost makes me feel worse. I really don't know, guys. I really don't know what to do with this here. I don't know what the plan is. If they are electing to have Sam Wilson's Captain America lead the Avengers for Doomsday and Secret Wars, I just don't know. I really just don't know. And that's just me speaking. I've already seen some people be like, all right, like Anthony Mackie, like really convinced me about Captain America, or I love how they handled the character. I vehemently disagree with that. And that makes me sad because I'm rooting for him. Maybe you all will enjoy it and you just think I'm hating. That's fine. I'm just going to embrace the hater side of me this year, I guess. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Captain America, Brave New World, 2 stars, I guess. Well, that was fun. How long have I been talking about this shit?